This video, until a few weeks ago, was not at all planned. Many of you asked me if which crypto card I use for daily expenses. Until a few weeks ago, I would have undoubtedly answered solely the Binance card. Not because Binance paid me, on the contrary, I have never had any kind of partnership with Binance, but because for the way I use it, the Binance card was perfect. Send stablecoin, convert them into euros without fees, and most importantly, with a human exchange rate. And finally, spend them, receiving cashback ranging from 2% to 8%, or send them back to the bank account for cash out. Everything was perfect until the interruption for the partnership. Everything was perfect until the interruption of the partnership with PaySafe. For those less informed, PaySafe is nothing but Binance partner, at the least in Italy and, if I'm not mistaken, in Europe, which was responsible for withdrawals. But most generally it was the entity that allowed Binance to exchange and manage withdrawals and deposits via fiat currency. This interrupt of the service is causing some problems for the euro transaction in our case. Since the Binance card, as I mentioned, is the one of the main cards I use for daily expenses. But at the first sign of trouble, I started looking around. This was the fine value alternative that can not to replace, but at least accompany the use of the Binance card. As they say, diversification is the key. After some research, I must say I found a couple of valid alternatives. In this video, I want to talk you in particular about the Nexo card and why I choose to test this service. Nexo is one of those platforms that until recently was plagued by rumors of insolvencies, imminent implosion and much more. I remember that from the moment of the Celsius collapse until a few months ago, every now and then someone was proclaiming Nexo insolvencies. For now, remain only rumors. In recent weeks, I have been testing the virtual Nexo card shipped, but let's take a closer look at the reason that led me to try these services.
Let's take a closer look at the reasons that drove me to try out this latest service. Now, I want to show you all the presentation screens regarding the Nexo card. Whatever it is, it motivated me to want to try it in practice. So as we can see, it offers two types of cards, which are essentially the same. We decide through this slider whether to go with debit or credit. In fact, it allows us to have these two main features with the same card, as I mentioned earlier. We know very well how different credit cards are from debit cards. Personally, I am using the debit card. We can see that it is supported by MasterCard, and consequently, we can understand that it is the second circuit for payment management globally. In fact, in terms of transaction volume, MasterCard ranks second, giving us some interesting possibilities. Now, let's see the key features of debit and credit cards. Firstly, they have different interest rates. In fact, we can earn up to 9% interest on the debit card and 2% cashback plus daily interest on the credit card. It's one of the few cards, if not the only one, that allows you to receive a loan directly from Nexo instead of automatically converting your balance within the platform or on the card. This allows you to use and spend cryptocurrencies without triggering capital gains taxes, at least according to current laws. Many tax experts have supported this interpretation. However, when we make a transaction with the Nexo card, as I mentioned earlier, we receive a loan from Nexo to make that payment. Then, through the platform, which I will show you shortly, we can repay this loan at a later time. Consequently, we haven't used our cryptocurrencies and converted them into fiat currency. Instead, we've used the instant loan provided by Nexo. As a result, this is not a taxable event, at least under the current laws in Italy regarding capital gains from cryptocurrencies and so on. Anyway, here we have all the features for both credit and debit cards. But, as I mentioned earlier, I primarily use the debit card. There's no minimum payment and especially no fees worldwide, so it's a very interesting option. One thing that pleased me a lot is the ability to use Apple Pay and connect our card to a smartphone for direct payments through iPhone, Apple Watch, and so on. This is something that the Binance card, as I mentioned in the introduction, doesn't offer yet. So this is a point in favor of the Nexo card. As I mentioned earlier, being a MasterCard circuit, Nexo has more than 90 million merchants accepting this type of card. This is very interesting. Like any smart card, it can be blocked if lost through the app, and you can change the PIN at any time. It tracks transactions with instant notifications. This doesn't seem particularly innovative. How to request the card? You can request it through the Nexo app, and it's very simple. But one thing I wanted to address before using this type of card is that you probably know that Armanino, starting from the end of 2022, stopped conducting audits for many platforms. One of these was Nexo. I remember that Armanino is a third-party entity that conducted audits for proof of reserve for these types of platforms, including both Binance and Nexo, among others. In general, the only Achilles heel for Nexo, since Armanino withdrew from conducting audits in 2022 in the entire crypto market, not just Nexo or Binance, is that there has been no public audit. However, as we can see, Nexo is a partner with various security services, such as Ledger Vault, which also offers insurance bonuses in case of unauthorized access to funds. It is a partner of Banked, a publicly listed company on the NYSE, which is responsible for the custody of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and so on for Nexo. Not having Armanino anymore doesn't seem to be a big problem for how I use Nexo. Now, let's quickly see how the Nexo platform works. I want to emphasize that Nexo doesn't just offer debit or credit cards, it's a full-fledged exchange and earning platform. In fact, we can stake stablecoins, cryptocurrencies, and so on. It's not how I use it as I mentioned in this video, but you should know that this option is available. You can use it for zero-fee asset exchanges, and there is even a trading platform. However, I don't use it for trading. I use other platforms for that. Still, you should know that a trading platform called Nexo Pro is available. As you can see, it uses the TradingView extension and allows spot and futures trading. So from this overview, we can manage various transactions, check the market, and so on. Through this section, we can also repay the loan we received at the time of the card purchase from Nexo instantly. In essence, we can repay it whenever we want, making us exempt from cashing out and paying capital gains taxes. It's the only card that currently offers this feature.
Regarding to Nexo, I'm not saying there are no risks. Absolutely. When we deal with a platform that has to do with money, there are always risks. I want to inform you that there are an active promotion for new subscribers to receive $25 on the first 100 deposit on the platform. To receive them, you must hold a balance of at least $100, and after that, they will be credited directly to your account, the bonuses. I leave you all the information about it below. I hope this video has been useful to you in some way. If you haven't already done, please support the channel by leaving a like and subscribing to it. For subscribers, we will see you in the next video. Bye!